Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the installment of Scott's Selections here for Sunday, June 13th. For again today's play of the day, quick recap of what happened yesterday. We had a loss in baseball with the Blue Jays and the Red Sox over 9.5 and -115 on FanDuel. Pretty tough beat there. Game landed at 9. Both teams went a combined 3 for 14 with runners in scoring position. I believe you had 2 line drive double plays with a guy on third base, and then you also had a fly ball to the outfield double play where the guy got thrown out at home plate. Blue Jays also had the bases loaded, no outs in the 6th, and did not score, and the game still landed 9. So pretty unfortunate, but it happens. Look for a bounce-back winner here on Sunday. And for the play that we're going to be looking at basketball, it's going to be on Game 4 of the Western Conference Series between the Denver Nuggets and the Phoenix Suns, taking place at around 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And for the play of the day, we're going to be taking the Suns here as the road favorites at -2.5 at -118 on DraftKings. Time recording of 2 a.m. Eastern Time. A couple reasons why I like the Suns in this spot. First of all, you look at the series so far, Phoenix has dominated in pretty much every single way that you can imagine. Phoenix is up 3-0, and it has won each of the first 3 games by at least 14 points. Denver offensively has been an absolute mess. Denver has scored less than 106 points in each of the first 3 games. You saw Jokic struggle earlier in the series. Then he had a 30-point triple-double in the last game, and they still barely scored. It's really just the fact that Phoenix defensively has just completely shut down the supporting cast for Denver, and I don't see that really changing in Game 4 of this series. Meanwhile, you look at Phoenix offensively, and they have torched Denver's defense all series long. So I mentioned how Denver has scored less than 106 points in every game. Meanwhile, Phoenix has scored at least 116 points in every game. So Phoenix is getting a bunch of open looks. You'll get the backcourt with Booker and with Chris Paul. I'll get more into Paul's stats in a minute, but you go through those guys with Ayton, Bridges, and company. This team is really just clicking on all cylinders offensively, and Denver's been a pretty underwhelming defensive team all season long, so I don't exactly see many adjustments being made for Game 4. Now, looking at Phoenix's scoring depth, each of Phoenix's 5 starters have scored at least 10 points in every game. So the entire starting 5 is putting together at least 50 points per game, not to mention, of course, Booker and Paul averaging 20+. But the point is that Phoenix has a ton of weapons offensively, and Denver, without Jamal Murray and with the injury to Porter Jr., they really don't have many weapons. They're relying on serious minutes from Monte Morris, from Paul Millsap. I kind of made this argument in Game 3, and it worked out as we ended up having Phoenix in that game as well. But nothing has really changed. Denver just doesn't have the talent with the injuries, and I do think that they'll get exploited once again in this home game. But looking at Chris Paul's numbers, I talked about how dominant he has been in this series going into Game 3 and how he's really good in the fourth quarter and in crunch time, which he was once again in that last game. But Chris Paul's numbers in this series are actually unbelievable. Just to go through the numbers, he's averaging 21.7 points per game, 11.3 assists per game, while shooting 57.8% from the floor and 77.8% from the three-point line against Denver in this series. So Chris Paul has hit the time machine back to about 2007, and he's just absolutely cooking Denver. I don't see much changing. Now, you can make an argument if you want to. Denver is trying to avoid elimination at home. Maybe they'll put together some spirited effort. And my argument would be, if that was the case, then why didn't they show up for Game 3? I just think at the end of the day, Phoenix is a much better team. And Denver has really brought no resistance at all, both offensively and defensively, for the Suns to at least, I'd say, cause them trouble. I just think the Suns are going to roll again. But I do think at 2.5, you've seen this line flip from +2 in Game 3. But when the Suns are winning every game by at least 10+ points, I just think that 2.5 is still too low. So the play that I once again here for Sunday, June 13th, is going to be on the Suns, -2.5 and -118 on DraftKings. Bye, everyone.